And yeah, I'm live. Alright, hello everybody, Noah Films here. So, this is a new thing on my channel where I am doing weekly podcasts with some stop motion animators. Today on the podcast right now is Aqua Studios.
Hey.
So, yeah. Hello, Michael the Collector. Welcome. Hold up, I'm gonna see if I can get your audio back. Can everyone hear Aqua Studios right now? 2 viewers now.
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, Night Strike is here. Thundercat and Moose, we trust. If you could get on the call, Thundercat, you could definitely do that. But if you can't, that's fine. But, ooh, we have a juicy talking point. But let's get to that in a moment. So first I want to talk about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Let's have a debate about that.
Okay.
Everybody knows most people know what I think about it. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is hot garbage. It's my least favorite movie. So,
Okay.
what do you think of The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I want to defend it a little bit.
You're going to defend it a bit? I mean...
So I'm really great limb here, but I'm just going to say The Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit is like one of the best suits.
Oh yeah, that's probably one of the only things I say is good. That's something we could agree on. Thundercat says, no, I have to get in the call. Night Strike says, have you seen the Bumblebee trailer? Sadly, not yet. I'm going to check it out after I'm done with this stream, which hopefully we can get to the hour mark. So yeah, Thundercat's in the call now.
Yo.
So, yeah, first episode of the podcast. Night Strike says the Bumblebee trailer's cool. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to go check that out.
Is the water wet?
Yeah.
Water is definitely not wet.
No, it is not. It's when you make contact with the water, you become wet.
Alright, let's get back on topic here. Let's start off with the main point, which is in the title. I think Star Wars is better than Marvel. Changed my mind. I mean, first of all, at this current state...
Stealing my idea. Okay, Noah.
Alright, but it's just what I think, alright? Like, DC is trash. I'm just kidding. DC is good.
Freaking glorious. DC's amazing.
DC is good. Alright. So, but I wanted to have it Marvel. Because most people will be super controversial about that. Because everybody always defends
Marvel? Okay, I'm gonna have to... Does anyone want to go first before I do?
Hold up. I'll state my opinion first. So at this current state, I get it. Star Wars is in shambles, but a lot of those other movies, especially the original trilogy, are just incredible. And I think it's better than a lot of stuff Marvel has done. But Marvel has done some great stuff, so there's going to be a big debate here. But that's my opinion first.
Aqua, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to go out and defend Marvel for a second. Okay, we might say, oh, Star Wars has a great story and great movies for the first original trilogy. What has, like, 18 movies? All of them are known to be pretty good except for The Dark World. Marvel. That's my exact point.
Sometimes for Marvel movies, I mean, like, it's not as special as, like, usually when a Star Wars movie comes out. It's not, like, as special, kind of, like that.
Let Thundercat go. Let's see what he wants to side with.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and side with Marvel here. And the reason I want to side with Marvel is because Star Wars... Oh boy, okay. So Star Wars has had a tremendous trilogy. It's had a massive impact on the entertainment industry as a whole. And it basically, you know, it impacted a lot of people's lives. There's a whole day on it. And I'm not going to, discredit Star Wars However, well, not discredit Star Wars in that sense. However, when you look at its track record, Marvel has had more consistently well put together movies, whereas Star Wars has had its prequel trilogy that is bearable somewhat, but to most, it's a disgrace to the Star Wars name. Star Wars 7 was very, split in half. And then The Last Jedi was just a mess. And based on what we could be getting in Star Wars 9, I hope it does better. Because, it seems like things might get better, but then again, there's just this whole stigma that's been hurting the Star Wars franchise for the past 10 or so years, I would say.
Alright.
I feel like Marvel has just done better.
Okay. So, the first two prequel movies, okay, they're a mess. Fine, whatever. Alright, so Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is actually pretty dang good. It is. A lot of people just discredit it because of the first two movies that honestly, aren't as bad as some people say. Well, Attack of the Clones is very bad, but Phantom Menace has some good things, but it's not a good movie. It's mediocre. So, A New Hope, great movie. Empire Strikes Back, one of the best movies ever made. Amazing. Return of the Jedi, pretty good, but probably the worst out of the original trilogy. Episode 7. Ooh. I'm just gonna say, it was awesome. I really loved it. And I'll defend that forever. A lot of people say, oh, it's the worst movie ever made. I don't get why people can say that that's the worst movie ever made.
I can see why. And the main reason why people claim that Star Wars 7 or The Force Awakens is considered a bad Star Wars film is because it mostly rehashes nearly everything that The New Hope, basically The New Hope, basically rehashes nearly everything that movie did. And I get it. It's trying to live up to the greatness that was the original trilogy. I don't think you can live up to that.
Alright.
And when they try to more or less rehash the same story, it's going to get a lot of people up and rioting.
It's not really like a full rehash of A New Hope. It's more of an homage to it while being a lot more different. It's not completely the same. Like, people are like, the characters are the exact same, even though they're a lot different. And then, just some people are, super ignorant about it. But, I could see why some people think that, but it's more of an homage when you really think about it. And obviously, Disney had to play it safe for their first Star Wars movie. So, yeah, but I think it was pretty good. One of the better Star Wars movies.
Right.
Let me add something. Wait. Sure, maybe Star Wars has innovated more lives, but I'm pretty sure Marvel has had a way better track record, way better movies. Had Infinity War. Do you remember Star Wars having that big moment? No.
Every Star Wars movie has been that big moment. Almost all of it. Did you hear? Did you hear about The Force Awakens? That huge moment. That was a big moment.
No, I'd like to disagree with you there.
But it isn't as big as Infinity War, obviously. But still, a lot of Star Wars movies are big moments. Bigger than
right. So you said that Force Awakens had a big moment per se. Are you referring to Rey, getting the Force? She's becoming Force sensitive and taking the lightsaber.
Yeah, that was.
So we're talking about
obviously
that
not as big as Infinity War, but nothing can top Infinity War, obviously. But still, Star Wars is pretty huge, honestly. And I think like
I mean, what? Go ahead. Go ahead.
but it is all about preference, and it's just my certain preference. I could see why Marvel you think is overall better. I think Star Wars has just had some better things, but I think like I could easily understand why you think like DC or Marvel could be better than Star Wars. Just my personal preference, and I have a certain bias to it probably because I grew up watching these movies like every day probably. So yeah.
No, I see your point because I too grew up with. I mostly grew up with. What's crazy is that I was raised under the prequels mostly, so
Yeah.
I knew all about Star Wars 3.
I used to watch Star Wars 3 like every day. It was like I thought it was like the best movie ever made. But
Now, were you
honestly,
talking about Spider-Man 3?
what?
Were you talking about Spider-Man 3?
No, Revenge of the Sith.
No, you were definitely talking about the best movie ever, Spider-Man 3. Right.
Michael the Collector says same. I grew up with the prequels. Yeah, I did too. And I used to like not appreciate the original trilogy enough, but now like I appreciate it so much more.
Okay. Has Marvel killed off any major superhero yet? No. And
But
Infinity War, but I don't count them as dead. But okay, they didn't kill somebody off with the stupid death scene where Obi-Wan Kenobi gets sliced in half.
okay,
That was not good.
I think
Qui-Gon, man, Qui-Gon.
no offense, Aqua, but I think that's probably like you could bring up a lot of other points maybe, but that's probably one of the weaker ones maybe because I think just because of like the deaths because like Star Wars has had meaningful deaths that have impacted everybody. Marvel doesn't have anything that has impacted anyone really as much except for obviously Infinity War, but who knows? They're going to probably bring like everybody back. Like they're just going to undo what they just did.
I'd like to disagree with you because I believe Star Wars I think has had more impactful deaths in their franchises than Marvel. However, if we're going to talk about people that have died and I think are still dead, personally, to me, I think that I basically more or less believe that Gamora is permanently dead.
Yeah.
Unless they can bring her out of the Soul Stone, in which case, fine. But, I don't know if I necessarily disagree or agree with you on that one because I think that, the Star Wars movies have had more impactful deaths, per se. Qui-Gon didn't really, affect me, but Order 66 was something else.
Order 66 was one of the best Star Wars scenes, I think. That was an incredible scene.
It basically,
you feel that, like, right in the heart.
Yeah.
You just feel that.
See, another thing I'm going to give the Star Wars movies credit for is their tremendous score, soundtrack, OST, music, whatever you want to call it. Because it's incredibly iconic, and I feel like Marvel hasn't had as many iconic themes, per se. I mean, granted, Avengers, the Avengers theme, but that theme alone, I think that's the only thing that many can really remember.
You
fully.
can't. Okay. You're saying.
I remember a lot more than. Okay, Aqua, go ahead, actually.
You can't. Thundercat, you can't remember the Spider-Man theme song, even though that's one of the most iconic theme songs in the world.
Well,
No, but listen. I
he's
don't.
talking about
If you're
MCU.
talking about Spider-Man
Yeah.
does whatever a spider can.
That's definitely.
I'm not talking about that per se. I was more so referring to the MCU, in which case, the Avengers theme, I think, is the only theme that people really know in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, they could really like hear it and know that it's for the Avengers. Whereas with Star Wars, that
You know
there's
everybody's
something
theme.
about that music that just really, really hits you.
Dude, like
It's incredibly iconic. I don't think it could be touched.
like John Williams, like outdid himself easily in those in like every single movie.
Oh my god.
Like the music, you can't top that.
Yeah.
So we could debate about this for a little bit longer, but we could get to some other points soon. But I just wanted to talk about this for a little while. But any other points you really want to bring up before we move on to another topic?
Nah.
All right.
Well, I mean, okay. To talk about how I believe Marvel is more or less better than Star Wars, I'm going to take it to the new trilogy. The new, well, at least what is the trilogy so far. Kylo Ren is not an interesting character to me. He never really has been. He killed Han Solo, and that's really the only major thing he's done throughout all of these movies so far. And really, it didn't really, matter in the sense that it didn't really change his character, really, and he's more or less just an uninteresting crybaby of a character to me. And Rey is a Mary Sue. Rey is someone who basically got no training, and the only training we've seen of her wasn't really training. It was just Luke lecturing her the whole time. And Rey is more or less just powerful because reasons. Like in The Last Jedi, Kylo Ren even says, well, yeah, your parents were nothing. Your parents were like basically savages.
I think that's bullcrap.
And while I can see why, because the Force is everywhere, at the same time, I'm just sitting here like, so you're just gonna basically, force her power onto everybody, just like Captain Marvel in the comics. I'm not gonna get into that, but they basically really didn't give her a reason to become that strong in the first place, and she beats Kylo Ren in Star Wars 7, but then in 8, she's even with him?
Yeah, but okay, so the Rey's Mary Sue thing, like, I'm not gonna, like in Force Awakens, like, she was kind of, but, like, you gotta look at the big picture, and now that kind of, like, ruins that part, but I'm not gonna fault that on it. Bryan Johnson just took, like, what J.J. Abrams had done, and just swiped it all away, like, come on.
Well, yeah. See, that's that's something that I think is a problem. I think that's more of a problem to the whole franchise because that's happened with the prequels as well. With the prequels, they created the Mandalorian. Well, is it Mandalorian? No, I don't think it.
Yeah, it's Mandalorian.
I forget what it's called. But basically, cells that give you, make you Force sensitive and can make you a Jedi or Sith and whatever. And I think that ruins the mystery of the Force. It's see Anakin grow up and becoming Darth Vader. It was interesting, but we knew he was going to get there. So I don't think there was really a purpose for the prequels.
No, there actually is, because without the prequels, you take those out, and what is Vader? Just this big evil guy who did something in the past. Prequels were necessary, but they could have definitely been done better.
Okay. I somewhat agree, but I also somewhat disagree.
Right.
Because in Star Wars 6 and Star Wars 5, we actually get to see the more human side of Vader. And once he takes the helmet off, is, truly, it opens up his character more. And I feel like Anakin, watching him grow, was just, like, I get it. But just watching him turn into this being that we already knew kind of takes away from the essence of what Darth Vader is.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think the prequels are somewhat necessary, but at the same time, I never really cared.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I can see all of your points, but I think, like, we've said like all that probably can be said. Like there's not that much
Yeah.
else to talk about. So let's move on. So, what? I didn't have that much on tab. But look, I just want to talk about Arkham City 100. If you guys don't know about him, you should subscribe to him. He does incredible animations. Probably one of my favorite animators.
Arkham City 100 is freaking godly.
Dude, his last style motion was incredible.
He's a beast. I've marathoned his Age of Ultron series like 1,000 times.
That's like one of the best stop motion series I've seen on YouTube. Definitely.
Yeah, bro, I put that in my top 10 right there.
It's like a movie. It's like an actual
movie. Yeah, it's crazy.
Movie.
Like, the way he's able to film everything is crazy. But go ahead, Aqua. Sorry.
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, okay. But,
JH Stop Motion Studios is in the live chat.
What's up?
Alright,
but,
so...
Arkham City 100, this dude... The way he's able to film, the way he films makes the entire stop motion feel very, what's the word? Cinematic.
Yeah, his fight choreography...
Feels like a real movie. It's crazy.
Yeah, his fight choreography is insane, and his stories are awesome, and his comedy is insane. He does... Dude, it was, like, incredible in Juggernaut versus Deadpool. Which is the most recent.
I actually really enjoy how he uses his sets.
Yeah.
Like, in I forget which part of the Age of Ultron series it was, but he had used... Spoiler if you guys didn't see it, but it was where Ant-Man had become Giant Man, and he basically threw or slammed Ultron into a building, and you could see the cardboard kind of rip.
Yeah.
And I like that.
I try to, like, model my sets kind of off of him. I mean, you can see, like, kind of the inspiration of my sets from him.
Right.
The sets are still
I
better than
learned
mine.
doing sets. I mean, I don't do sets a lot, but I learned based on the main articulated comic book art channel, Boog_ACBA, where he basically just creates sets and shows you how to do them and put figures in them. And I think he's the best at set making, personally.
Alright. So, any other topics or, like, debates that any of you guys want to, like, kind of talk about?
It is a podcast.
Yeah. But probably could have came a little bit more prepared. But, you know, whatever. So, anyone who's in the chat...
Okay, let's talk about something that I don't hear anybody talk about anymore. What do you guys think of Marvel Zombies?
If we're talking about the comic storyline,
yeah,
it's cool.
I haven't read the actual comic.
No, you don't have to read it. Just tell me, like, what would be your thoughts?
I've, like, heard about it and, like, seen some, like, you know, the, what was it? The one Avengers, like, cartoon. Not the Avengers Assemble one, but, like, the other one, Earth's Mightiest Heroes one. Like, the Marvel Zombies thing when that one was pretty good. JH Style Motion Studios wants to join. Yes, you can join.
Yeah, go ahead and join.
Come on in, JH.
I gotta add him to the podcast chat. So, yeah. I hope I actually...
But yeah, Marvel Zombies, you know, when it comes to Marvel, while I am very, very much into its lore and everything, I never really got into the Marvel Zombies
Hold up.
part of it, the Marvel Universe, you know?
Alright, wait, guys, sorry to interrupt, but, like, does anyone else, like, can find, like, JH Stop Motion Studios Hangout account? Because, like, I searched it up and it doesn't show up for me.
Now
I can add them.
Alright, yeah, Thundercat, you add them then. Hangouts is kind of weird.
Alrighty, let me go get
like, it should be any known person that you've been in a group with that you can search up. Not, like, sometimes, if you're, like, currently in a group with them, like, you can, like, if you're currently in a group with them, you can search them up, but if you're not, then you can't search them up at all, even if you've been in a group with them. But, yeah, so, Marvel Zombies, I think, is a pretty cool storyline. I think there's a lot of interesting things. Haven't read much into it, but like I hope I do. And I've seen like Swag Waves one video on it like a few years ago, which is pretty awesome. So yeah. So do you have like alright in the chat? Is there like any questions you guys have really, or what? Alright, so Aqua, like another topic that we could maybe like debate about a little while.
Okay. This is sort of like a superhero fight.
Alright.
We're gonna take Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay.
Well, no Infinity Gauntlet.
Alright.
Versus Darkseid.
Ooh, that's hard. Like Thanos, like without the gauntlet, is still pretty powerful. But I think Darkseid could maybe edge that out, honestly. Like, but if it was Thanos with the gauntlet, like Thanos would probably win. But I don't really see him beating Darkseid. But it would be definitely a good fight. But I just think Darkseid's just too powerful. But you know, I could see why you think Thanos could win.
Exactly.
There's JH, like, has Thundercat added him?
Oh, what the?
Hold up. Let me try searching his thing again. Nope. Hold up, I'm gonna probably send him the link in the chat.
Yeah, just do that so more people can join.
Okay. This chat could get corrupted, but every week we might have to have a new chat, but who cares?
Yep.
Alright, Thundercat still has not returned. I think it's the homecoming fans.
I think the homecoming fans came back, actually.
Dude, but like homecoming fans are like homecoming does have problems, and I like homecoming, but some homecoming fans just like they don't accept like any problems with it.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to jump off of here. I'm gonna add JH before I go, though.
Well,
You know.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm gonna
Alrighty.
turn off joining by link then. Alright, peace, Thundercat. Alright, so hopefully JH gets added in though.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's just adding him right now. So Aqua, what is your favorite figure in your collection?
Oh, how dare you. Probably my Thanos.
Thanos figure? Which Thanos do you have?
The Walmart exclusive.
Now that is a pretty solid figure. I have the Marvel Select Thanos, which is pretty good.
Isn't he stiff, though?
Mine isn't that stiff, honestly. Like, it's actually kind of loose for me.
Weird.
But, yeah. A lot of Marvel Selects can be a bit stiff, but I think, like, it's all good. Usually. They don't have the most articulation ever, though. Alright, I'm gonna turn on the, I'm gonna give him the link.
Doesn't it get sort of boring?
Yeah. But, any other topics? Like, hopefully, like, JH can join, maybe?
Yeah.
I sent the link in the chat, so, yeah, now we're back to 2 viewers. So, Yeah, if you want to join the call, the link is just right there. But so Aqua, what are any of your like upcoming stop motion plans?
Oh, well, hold on. Tell you what I'm next gonna film, and then I can tell you what I'm next going to upload.
All right, just go
So
ahead.
what I'm soon going to film is I'm gonna do a reshoot for Civil War because I've already filmed that.
All right.
And I'm film a Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe stop motion series.
Ooh.
Then I'm
Cool.
gonna do a Hulk fight.
Nice.
And then what I'm soon going to upload is my Avengers Alliance video, and then I'm gonna make a Superior Spider-Man stop motion.
All right, can't wait. Can't wait. But yeah, some of my plans are like in the future are probably like Defender series. I hope to get like my last Defenders figure on my birthday, which is coming up soon.
What's your birthday, sir?
October 9th. So it's coming up soon.
I'm gonna tell an interesting fact to everybody.
Right.
In my universe, instead of having Hela break Thor's hammer, Thor will break Thor's hammer.
How will that happen? I guess we will have to find out.
Did I say Thor?
Thor break his own hammer, yeah.
Yeah, no, I meant Thanos will.
Well, okay. Alright, I sent JH Stop Motion the link to the call on Instagram for DM, so hopefully it joins. But we can just like kind of interview each other and ask us questions.
Again. You ruined it last time.
I don't think it will, because this is like the last one wasn't professional, but like they don't like do that really in like more professional ones.
Yeah.
Like, cause this is like an actual podcast. But this has been fun for the first go around for a podcast. 1 minute, gotta fix something. All right, so JH will be in the call soon, and then all right. Let's brainstorm some topics that we could talk about. So, kind of like about
talk about how much of a fail you are for you not using the snap.
All right. I didn't want to use the snap because I wanted to like use my own interesting storyline. Like I wanted
him to die.
I'm not gonna kill off Spider-Man because Spider-Man. All right, I don't want to reveal too much, but he's gonna be very important in my universe. He's
important. You're kidding me.
He will. Do you have some Aqua Studios as something against Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Yeah, but I kept most of the newer ones alive because there's more like interesting storylines where there's like already like I've done a lot with like Captain America. I'm not gonna do that much more with Iron Man, but like, cause his story is, he will have some involvement, but not that much. You will find out.
For the Infinity War Part 2 then.
Wait, what? Another Infinity War series?
No, like when the fourth Avengers movie comes out, are you gonna do something for it?
I'm not gonna do stop motion. If it's really good, I might do like a celebration stop motion, possibly.
Okay.
I probably should have done that for Infinity War, but I was working on a lot of projects, so I couldn't really do anything like that. Infinity War was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we could get into the Star Wars Marvel debate. I'm just kidding. Marvel or DC? Let's do that.
Okay. Marvel.
Oh, yep. Okay. Sup, JH?
Yo, man.
So, welcome to the podcast.
Hello there.
So, we got 3 viewers right now. Yeah. Alright, so, any So we just we're about to talk about a bit of a topic, Marvel or DC. So me and Aqua, we prefer Marvel. All right, Aqua, you go first on your reasoning why.
Because DC has had way worse movies. That's just the way first point, man.
I mean, I'm not gonna completely judge it off of movies because DC has had some pretty dang good comics. I mean, they've got a lot of good storylines, and they have had some decent movies. And if we could just look at the big picture of all of the DC movies that have been made, at a time DC was crushing Marvel. So you gotta look at all those things, not just MCU versus DCEU. Marvel has had some other solid movies, not in the MCU, but man, they fumbled on a lot of movies. Like that one Captain America 1990 version. Ho 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 ho! I'm sorry if you've watched that. That's awful. They had some pretty awful movies, but how they recovered is incredible. But I do prefer Marvel, but DC definitely is very good. I could see each side.
Soon I'm gonna start filming the stop motion.
Nice. Yeah, I think I might end the podcast in a little while, but I'll give it 10 more minutes possibly. So, any other points you want to make on Marvel versus DC?
Not exactly.
Marvel's better.
It's always that Marvel's better.
Yeah. But I definitely see it like DC. But let's move on to another topic. Let's Alright, I want to talk about Iron Man 3. Many people think it sucks. I personally think it's actually a pretty solid movie.
Okay, who's on the side of Iron Man 3 sucks?
I know that
Here.
I know I say a lot of all the MCU movies are solid, but most of them are just like that. But yeah, Aqua, what side are you on?
Obviously, I love Iron Man 3.
You do.
Yeah.
That's the one person that has agreed with me because on another stream I was on earlier, I said that and everybody disagreed with me. But I personally think it's a pretty good movie. It's fun, it's entertaining, but definitely has some problems. I'm not gonna ignore that.
Every movie's gonna have some problems.
Yeah, but this one just has more problems than a lot of others. But I still think it's really good. Some people think it's boring, and I did too. But then when I rewatched it, I was at points, yeah, this movie does drag a bit, but for the most part, I mean, it's pretty good movie. I'd say it would be a 7 out of 10.
Exactly.
I think, wait, what's the most overrated Marvel movie?
Overhated?
Overrated.
Close to too much loved, but it's not that good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could do, not even in the MCU, any Marvel movie, really.
I'm going to be honest. Winter Soldier? In a house.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Winter Soldier is too overhated.
You mean overrated?
Overrated, yes.
Yeah, I think it is, but it's, don't get me wrong, it's a great movie, but I think people hold it to a standard Empire Strikes Back. It's a great movie, but a little overrated.
Yeah.
I think, alright, now let's go underrated. Alright, besides Iron Man 3, which I think is the most underrated, but besides Iron Man 3, what is the most underrated Marvel movie?
Okay,
First Captain America.
Oh yeah.
Yep. America.
Even though it does have some problems, it's like people say it's terrible. I think it's just like, okay, it's just like it's decent, it's fine, you can enjoy it, whatever. But I definitely think like too many people just hate on it. Like the first
And Age
half.
of Ultron.
Oh, Age of Ultron. I don't like it, but it's definitely not like the worst Marvel movie ever.
Like Age of Ultron.
I mean, like, it's not like that. Like when you really look at it, it's not that bad. But it's just because of like Ultron just bugs me so much, and a lot of other things. It's kind of like what Thundercat has with Spider-Man: Homecoming, really. Except Age of Ultron isn't like actually like a really good movie. It's I guess I could say decent, but I'd say it's mediocre. What is your guys' favorite Marvel movie besides any Avengers movie? Because I know a lot of people are going to be like Infinity War or the first Avengers. So, yeah. What? You got cut off a bit.
Iron Man 2.
Iron. Okay, I have to disagree with you. I think Iron Man 3 was a bore fest. I mean, it does have some cool moments and stuff. I could see why you would like that, but I just personally don't really like it.
I respect your opinion.
But now, what's the worst Marvel MCU movie?
For the Dark World.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. Both of the first two Thor movies are just. I mean, they're not good. They're not good. The first Thor's mediocre, and the Thor: The Dark World is just bad. It's just, no. Also, Incredible Hulk is pretty bad. It's weird too. It's like when you fit it in with the rest of the MCU, it's really weird.
Yeah.
All right, so I gotta think of any other topics really. So, but what did you think, like overall, of my Avengers Infinity War series?
That was fine.
Right. Like any criticisms you think you you have with it, so I could like improve on that for a whole series moving on.
I'd work a little bit on, like, stuff on the story a little bit. It goes, like, that's for all of your stop motions. They go way too fast.
Yeah. All right. Hello, awesome Lego Films. Welcome to the first episode of the Noah Films podcast. This is a weekly podcast where I talk with stop motion animators on a Hangouts call. So, yeah, if you would mind dropping a like, that would be great. Okay, so let's move on. So, so this is a question kind of like for all of us. What got you into stop motion? So, Aqua, you can go first.
I'm just gonna say this once again. Swagwit and MM.
Like kind of like explain like kind of your stories a bit more.
Okay, so I first got introduced to MM when he started when I saw in one of a video Swagwit. Pretty sure he voiced Spider-Man in one of them. I don't know if I remember which one, but I saw one and it made me really start to like Swagwave and start to know who MM was. And one day I saw Thundercat and he was holding that multiverse thing that he was doing a voice audition. So I tried it and it got me really, really, and rest is history.
All right. So now, JH, you go.
Basically, I've always collected figures, but like never really done anything with them. So, I saw videos of MM and stuff, and got me into Marvel Legends, and then like I used to collect like Predator and stuff, NECA. But now I do Marvel Legends, and then one day I just decided to try it. Yeah, went from there.
Alright then, so here's my story kind of. So like this started like all the way like 3 years ago. So like I saw this one like Lego stop motion of Clone Wars from somebody. I don't remember who it was. But I was like, I really want to do that, and then I built like a whole set and just like played around with it. I didn't know how to, but then kind of like searched up more, found Stop Motion Studio Pro, and then that's when I started to find out like a lot more animators like Swagwave, Lousis. Like Lousis 1 was kind of like the main inspiration though, like for Marvel stuff and all that. It really like got me to make that to make this YouTube channel. And yeah, the rest is history, as they say. Alright, so any other topics you guys want to really discuss?
Not exactly.
Yeah, I think we might be nearing the end of the stream probably.
Are you gonna keep it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it up. I don't keep like all the like meme streams we usually do and stuff like that because I do a lot of that, and I'm still gonna do like a lot of those like fun streams, but this is more professional, and I hope you guys liked it. But yeah, any closing topics from anybody before we
No.
go? Alright, so first of all, Spider-Man 3 is amazing. I'm kidding. Spider-Man 3 is awful, but it's really funny. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed like this new style of live streams. Mostly I've been doing just like some fun Q&As or hangouts calls mainly, but this is more of like a debate, discussion. So thanks to Aqua Studios, JH Style Motion Studios, and Thundercat 123 Studios for joining me on this podcast. And yeah, tune in next week for the